What's up, guys? Episode 6 of 2018 of the All In CrossFit podcast. Got Jared back up here with us. We're just going to have a nice, friendly chat about what to do after the Open. All right, we've gone through the 5 weeks. The excitement's kind of worn off. We missed it a little bit, but then we don't, and we're just kind of stuck in a lull. So we're just going to talk about what do we need to do going forward. Whether that be, I think everybody needs to sit back and kind of evaluate, do a self-assessment, and look back at all the workouts and see where they could have done better, or what they could have done beforehand to do better, or just kind of take some time to just chill. What do you think?
I like the chill part.
You like to chill?
Yeah. Got to get back on it at some point, though.
Yeah, because 2019 is coming.
It's coming.
And it's only 5 weeks, but it feels like the majority of the CrossFit season is off season.
Yeah.
You train.
Especially if you only do the Open.
Yeah. Yeah, that's as far as you go. You just train
yeah.
5 weeks.
For the games athletes, they get carried out for a few more months in the summer, but we're pretty much done.
Oh, yeah.
5 weeks is over.
Yeah, so what do we do?
So we're going to talk about today.
All right, so one of the things that we talked about is have this conversation a little bit off on the side, not in front of the camera. And we kind of came up with the idea that, there's 2 sides of CrossFit. One, where it's your daily fitness routine, and the other is it's your sport. You're an athlete, right? And so that, where we don't think there's anything wrong with being on either side. The only fault is not knowing which side you're on.
The gray area.
The gray area, yeah. So if you're an athlete, the off season, you're gonna have an actual off season where if you're just doing this for your daily fitness routine,
you gotta get back on it.
Yeah, you gotta get back on it because what does it matter?
Yeah, take a little break, recoup, recover from the Open.
Yeah.
Ready to roll again.
Yeah, and at the end of the 5 weeks of the Open, it doesn't dictate, your life, how much, it doesn't dictate your pay because you still have a job.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so it's just not as important if you're not a full-time athlete. And so, what we want to do, let's talk about some differences, right? So, if you're a CrossFit athlete, you probably don't have a full-time job.
Yeah, that is your full-time job.
Right.
Especially now, as competitive as it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what you work for throughout the year.
Yeah. Have you seen that Matt Fraser documentary?
Which one?
The one
NF Sports or?
Yeah, either the one with NF Sports or even his time on the Redeemed and the Down.
I haven't seen that yet.
You haven't watched it?
We're supposed to watch it with John, but
John dropped the ball.
No, I think we did.
But if you look at either the NF Sports documentary or the Redeemed and Down, his whole day, every single day, is just revolved around his training, his eating, his recovery, his training. There isn't a whole lot of time for any kids. He's not married. The girlfriend that he has, she cooks all his meals for him.
Yep.
So he literally spends the entire day focused on training. Where, let's see, just take me for example. I wake up at 4 o'clock, I coach, I take care of sweet little Sadie all day long, and then I coach some more, and then I have other work I have to do during the day while I'm taking care of Sadie. But my day is not. If I get an hour in during open gym, that's a good day for me.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about your day.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much how a majority of us sit.
Yeah.
I've got my responsibilities with the university that I have to knock out to try and free up enough time to come here. Mm-hmm. And so, in order to sustain a career there, I've got my goals, my focus, and everything I'm doing outside of the gym. And so it's more about just living.
Yeah.
And so then, get to come in here, hang out with you guys, work out a little bit in the afternoons. And that's my day. That's, a big part of my day.
Yeah.
But it's not my overall focus.
So would you say that knowing that, if you really take it all into perspective, knowing that you can't just devote all that you have to training, when you look back at the Open and your Open performances, what's your viewpoint on that? When you're done with the workout, are you saying, oh man, I should have done a lot better on that? Or do you look at it from the point of view that, hey, I did the best I could with what I'm working with?
Yeah, so last year I wanted to, of course I'm going to try and do the best that I can.
Mm-hmm.
Last year I redid most of the workouts to try and get a better score. For myself, it was my first Open, I was going to try and place as high as I could. This year, I think I redid one workout, and it was 18.1. And so then after that, all the rest of the workouts, I kind of went in with a mindset of, hey, I'm going to get this knocked out and get as good a score as I can, and then down the road I can retest.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I'm not trying to place for regional, so I'm not trying to, fight for just a few extra spots. So the open workouts are pretty intense. So, why would I repeat it unless I knew that, okay, I mess up here, mess up on this move, and I got something I know that I can do better, or maybe come in with a better mindset. So for me, just looking at it as like, okay, what I did throughout the past year, I'm not going to get better within a couple of days unless it is something small. And I say like, okay, well, I know, like say, take the last workout. I know if I break up the chest bar earlier, that I would probably be able to string together larger sets in the end. But that's something I can work on down the road. I don't have to do it, do it on Friday and then redo it on Monday.
Right.
And so that's kind of my thought process coming in on the workout.
You said something about just being able to get better. And I think that's one of the major things that happens with a lot of people in CrossFit is that, CrossFit HQ throws out the workout. And there's a movement in there that you can do. And I mean, by do it, you can do it.
Physically, yeah.
Like, let's say, for example, if it's a toes bar, right, like it was an 18.1, you can physically get your toes to the bar, and it's by any means necessary. You just swing it as hard as you can. Your hips are all over the place, and you get your toes to the bar. All right, so to being able to do that once, you can't really be too upset with your score if you don't get
exactly
multiple rounds. Right? So for the person who say they do treat the workout like, I'm going to get my toes to the bar by any means necessary. We had our very first ever technical difficulty with the podcast where we weren't really recording through the microphone. So some of the audio
may be a little off.
Before any of these statements will be a little off. May have an echo. Please don't turn off the podcast. Please continue listening.
We do have the audio, so we're good.
We can continue. But it may echo. It may not sound as good. But keep listening. So what we were talking about is like, if there's someone that can do toes to bar, like they can physically get their toes to the bar, but it's not very good. Like their kip isn't there. They can't string any together. That's not going to lead to them having a lot of success. So in my opinion, like that person shouldn't. They do what they want. They're grown, but they shouldn't look back at that and be like, "Oh man, I did really bad at that workout because I'm not good at CrossFit." Where in reality, I think that. Being able to get your toes to the bar, that's a great thing. I mean, that's technically a toes to bar. But then after that, I think where people mess up is that they got the movement, they did it. Like, all right, I got it. This is how I'm going to do it because this works. And what they really should do is say, okay, I can get my toes there. That's the end point. Let me go back to basics.
Yeah, break it down.
Yeah, let me make sure that my kit is intact. Let me make sure I can string together knees to elbows. I don't have to worry about falling off the bar. And then let me work my way up through the progressions to have efficient toes to bar. Yeah. So that it isn't like do one, swing around and waste a lot of time. Because in an open workout, they're all AMRAPs. And you're just
pretty
stuck
much,
there. Yeah. And so you're just wasting time by doing that if you're not very efficient.
So what would you say, with you being the coach, you're leading the class, and you've got an athlete that has been able to do every workout RX so far for the Open, so they want to establish an RX score. You allow them to do the workout one time RX, even though they may struggle. They get their couple of toes to bar if they advance through the first round, and then tell them to redo it scaled so that they actually get more intense work in for that workout.
Yeah, I think with that, if that's your goal, right? If that person's goal
complete
is
an RX,
is to complete every workout RX, then by all means go with it.
Gotcha.
Because that's the goal that they've set. Like they haven't set a goal of finishing in the top whatever. So by doing the workout RX and doing every workout RX, they are accomplishing their goal that they set for themselves for the Open. But it's when I think the problem that I see a lot of times is that the goal doesn't really match up with where the person actually is. So it's like they haven't taken the time to fully assess themselves to see where they are in order to be able to make realistic goals. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like it's easy. So like as long as there's something that if you can do it physically and your goal is to do every workout RX, then by all means, knock it out. And hopefully when it's all over, you won't look back at it and be like, oh, and feel bad. Yeah. Because you did accomplish your goal. you know? But I'm saying when you do the movements and then you feel bad about it, you look back at your score and you're disappointed.
Yeah.
You know, that's when I think that we have to get, and I see it all the time. So, I mean, there's not like one person that's in my mind. A lot of people do this. They get the movement by any means necessary, and then they forget about the progressions. You know, they become content with doing it the way it is.
Well, I think you can see that with the elite athletes as well. I know that with the aerobic capacity course, they were at Mayhem one time, and they told the elite games athletes to do single unders as opposed to double. And several of them struggled with it. So, I mean, you know, even people at that level can kind of take a few steps back and still work on the progressions leading up to, you know, whatever movement it may be. And so I think even I can do pretty much all the movements in CrossFit. So, like, I can do just about all the workouts RX. But, you know, we were talking about this earlier. It's like a workout we were doing yesterday with the weight that y'all had written down. It was better for me to scale back so that I could move efficiently through those lifts and be able to complete the workout with enough intensity finishing out, as opposed to getting at the end of the workout and still having, you know, a heavy weight that I had to get up and having to rest, you know, a significant amount of time in between.
Yeah.
And so then that would turn into more strength work at the end of a workout, as opposed to being able to get all the way through in a, you know, a given time frame.
Yeah. And be able to maintain the intensity.
Maintain it, yeah. That's
the intensity
and move well through those movements instead of struggling. Of course, like, you know, when you fatigue in a workout, your form is going to go a little bit, but you don't want it to drop so much that you're, you know, like I said, having to rest so much in between, you know, each movement, especially on a heavier lift.
Yeah, and so that's two things that you hit on. That, like, one, you scaled it back to maintain the intensity of the workout, to make sure that you're actually hitting the stimulus or the time domain that was set for that workout, and two, like, you're refining your movement. Yeah, you know, and I feel that's another thing too that happens. It's like sometimes doing a workout RX becomes so important that, you know, we throw movement out of the window. Where, you know, this time after the Open, I feel it's the perfect time to kind of like dial everything back, slow yourself down, and really work on your movement. Because, you know, just a workout I'm thinking about off the top of my head in the Open was the clean workout. You know, you can look at that and say, oh, I didn't do really well on that workout because I'm just not strong enough. Or you could say, I didn't do really well on that because I was gassed after doing the dumbbell squats and the burpees over the bar. Or you could say, I didn't do very well on that because my clean technique is garbage. Right, yeah.
And so much that you can kind of take away from that workout. Simple movements. It's a squat with the dumbbell, burpee over the bar, clean. But then, like you said, you break it down and you look at each one, and so then you can, you know, kind of figure out which path you want to go for what you're trying to increase.
Yeah, and so, like, for one, if you were gassed because the dumbbell squats and the burpees just killed you, so you couldn't clean heavy, then you know your conditioning is 100%. The main focus. So, like, in a workout where, like yesterday, that weight was a little heavy for you, you scale it back so you can still move with intensity, right? Or if you know that it's your clean technique, then you got to step back and say, well, why is my clean not that great? Oh, is it because my chest moves forward, dips forward in the bottom? All right, so now you step it back and refine your air squat. You know, take the time, because I mean, right now, there's no scoreboard. I mean, we have sugar wad, but that's not. I mean, that's just there for you to save your stuff. That's not a competition every day. Yeah. And, you know, and even, I mean, I think we can all step back and refine our movement, because I mean, I could always keep my chest more upright in the bottom of a squat, which in turn will help me show the strength. You know, help anyone show the strength that they may have, as opposed to once you get tired, your elbows dip and that bar just kind of rolls off your chest. Oh yeah. So yeah, that's a good workout to think about, because there's so many things that kind of encompasses everything. Either you need to be in better shape, either you need to refine your movement, which is something that we could all do, or you just need to get stronger. And all of that can be done every single day with just a little bit more attention to detail in everything that we do. You know, and so I think that just goes back to, doesn't really go back to anything that we were saying. I mean, it kind of does, but doesn't. But it leads into, like, having appropriate goals. Yeah. You know, like, what's your goal for, you know, 2019 seems like it's a long time away from now. But, you know, the days go slow, but the years go fast. Luke Bryan. And,
Why are you in love with him?
He's a hometown boy.
Them South Georgia boys.
Anyway, 2019 seems like a long time. So, I mean, like, being able to set a goal for that, but then you still got to have goals for right now, right? Mm-hmm. 'Cause, I mean, summertime.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming. People want to look good.
Sun's coming out.
And you want to get ready
Shirt's
for the
coming
Open.
off.
So, taking that time to refine movement.
Yeah.
And making sure that you're hitting the right intensity. You know, how you do that. Because one's saying speed up, one's saying slow down. Mm-hmm. I mean, just personally, what are you thinking about that?
I think for me, the focus is going to be on moving through the movement well, trying to maintain the form at the same time, keeping the intensity. And so it's like I had said with us going back the weight yesterday. I mean, I could have gotten through the workout, could have pushed hard at the end, but I know that I would have lost my form.
Yeah.
And so I think, especially like if you're looking at setting goals, if you say, like, okay, I feel like I want to get stronger. I mean, break it down all the way from like mobility, check and see where you're at there, then start moving into the body weight movements, then, add a bar, because, front rack is going to be a lot different than a back squat.
Right.
You got a lot of different moving parts there from a mobility standpoint, where the bar sits, how it is, and how you feel with it. But then it's going to feel different fatigue. So, even if you do a workout at the intensity that you've got set, you're trying to increase your cardio level, maybe even try and do some strength work following that, and where you're already fatigued, so then you can get some heavier lifts in while your body's fatigued, but you're not doing it in a workout.
Right. And
so I think that's kind of what I would try and structure my workouts around, because I need to focus on my cardio levels. I mean, I need to work on everything, but I think that's like one of the blaring holes in my ability for CrossFit is cardio, because I'll come out the gates hot on workouts and be able to move through like say if it's a 5-round workout, you hit that middle round and then I just feel like I'm gassed. But the first 2 felt really good because I'm fresh, the movements feel good, I'm moving well through them, and so then I'm more efficient in that movement. Yeah. But then my body gets fatigued, and so then what happens on a large set of pull-ups whenever your lower back gets tight, your lats sore, biceps sore. I mean, once you start adding up volume and intensity into the workouts, it's going to break down whenever you start getting fatigued.
Yeah, and it also, if your movement isn't good to start with, it just gets worse and worse.
Yeah, exactly.
As you get tired, you don't have good movement to fall back on.
Mm-hmm. It's like you're talking about with a toes to bar.
Yeah, I mean, it's always. I think that CrossFit. I mean, you got to be in shape. That's the name of the game. It's like being in shape. It doesn't matter how strong you are, because in every workout, it seems like you have to have enough conditioning to be able to display the strength that you may have. If you're breathing super hard and you can't brace your body, it doesn't matter how strong you are. You're probably going to miss the lift. Mm-hmm. So it all comes back to being in shape for one and having good movement. And I think, that's like now is the time, perfect time in the year to really focus on that. Because, and another good time to do that is like this coming Sunday, we're having Sunday Fun Day. We're going to be focusing on the snatch, and there's not going to be a workout that follows that. We're not going to try to work up to a 1-rep max snatch. The main focus there is just trying to refine the movement.
Yeah, break it down, technique work.
Looking at your overhead squat, finding great positions there, looking at all the different pulls from the floor to above the knee to the high hang, making sure that all that's intact with zero intensity, just trying to get better at the movement so that then it can kind of carry over into workouts. So another thing just goes back into, being able to refine your movement, because this is the perfect time of year to do it, no pressure. And I think being able to scale yourself, like now is a good time not to just to go into every workout thinking it's whatever's written on the board, I'm going to do it. Now is a good time to like scale yourself back so that you can work on your conditioning, because if the weights are too heavy or the movement is too complex and it forces you to spend a lot of time resting, you're not getting in better shape. Yeah. You're not getting in better shape. The next thing you know, people aren't going to see those changes that they want to see in their body leading to the summertime, So I think now is a good time to like make sure that you're scaling yourself so that you hit the appropriate intensity for workouts and you can get better at your movement.
Mm-hmm.
I think we just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, you got it, man.
What do you do after the open? Slow yourself down, refine your movement, ramp up the intensity.
Establish your goals.
Establish your goals. Establish some realistic goals. Anything else you want to add?
We've got the competition this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Competition. We got a lot of people competing. Jarrett's competing on the opposite team from me, so it's a good chance he's not going to be very successful. He's not going to win. Competition's this Saturday at CrossFit on the Plains for supporting them and their
The Lee County Humane Society.
Yeah, and their fundraiser for the Lee County Humane Society. Sunday we have Sunday Fun Day.
Is this going to be the first one?
It's the first one.
All right. It's 2 times a month, right?
Yes, we're going to do
So
it 2 times a
alternating,
month.
yeah. So
Every other weekend.
Every other week.
Every other Sunday, not every other weekend. You have a little, you come in, get loose, about 1:15, instruction will start. And then after that, once we're done, the rest of the time will just be open gym. And so come see us Sunday Fun Day, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And mainly, make sure you watch this podcast.
Yes.
And excuse the audio snafus. Treat the workout like I'm going to get my toes to the bar by any means necessary. We're not recording.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
This is the first time that this has happened.
Oh.